Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Shawn.
I'm Drew.
And here we are with another top 10 of the week. Again, another interesting week.
It was a very... Yeah, it's interesting is the key word this week.
Yeah, so there was a lot this week. We're going to get right into it, but for me, there was a lot this week I wanted to put in just straight up because of just cover buys, but I ran out of space. So let's talk a little bit about how we do this. How do you pick your top 10?
My top 10 is a mix of factors. Number one is engagement for me.
Yep.
A little bit of verisimilitude.
There's that damn word again.
There's that word again, yeah. Had a lot of comments on that word.
Yeah, verisimilitude, dude.
It's an Air Force word. It's an Air Force word.
Okay, it's an Air Force word.
Covers, of course, interior art, and overall just getting a reaction out of me. You know, am I getting a little spoiler for the week? Anything DC wise, I did not get a reaction out of at all this week. It was just.
I got a reaction out of them. It's kind of the same thing, except I have a lot more key factor into mine. I buy more books based on potential value than Drew does. Drew kind of doesn't give a shit about keys. I definitely care about keys. So we're going to start with our skip it's.
Yes.
So we started adding our 5 disappointing books,
yes.
Books that you may have been excited about, but maybe you don't want to pick it up. We'll try to save you some money here. So let's go with our first skip it.
Yes, no particular order.
No order at all,
yes.
Just random skip it's.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start. This was a hair away from making it into my buy list. The potential of the last issue with the nullified Daredevil. I mean, they had a great talk in Matt's head, like Null
yes.
and Daredevil were talking, and it just doesn't come to fruition. I was really disappointed. But the reason it almost made it because Daredevil is learning how to, or Elektra is learning how to be Daredevil, and she's vested in it. Like, she wants to be Daredevil. And Typhoid Mary, the nullified Typhoid Mary, she's already crazy, but she was actually kind of cool too. So I enjoyed that. But it was just that build up, and that last page was so good, it didn't follow through to what it could have been in this issue. So that's why I had it as a skip it.
That may or may not be actually in my list.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one. May or may not be in mine too. So yes. why are you skipping Wolverine?
For me, the stories were generic and bland, and I'm not gonna lie. Cosmic Ghost Rider is Marvel's the Batman Who Lolls, and to the point, it's like I'm tired of seeing Cosmic Ghost Rider and Batman Who Lolls, and I just anytime I get a story with him, I just want to avoid it like the plague. Granted, the art was decent, yeah, Juggernaut in there. But I just don't want any more Cosmic Ghost Rider. Can we get a year without Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Okay, interesting.
But the other stories were okay. The art wasn't great. I mean, in the last story involving Mars, it was okay, but it just blah. It just wasn't very dazzling for me.
Okay.
It was underwhelming.
Very interesting. I'll save my thoughts on that one for later. So next skip it. Okay. No, I didn't even read that one.
Okay.
So I'll start again. I feel like this book is written for 12-year-old girls. I got nothing against 12-year-old girls. I have an 11-year-old girl living in my house. She's the best. I love her. But do you want us to like this or not? Like DC Comics, do you want us to care about these characters? Do you want us to read your comics? Your demographic is 30-ish year old dudes. Like, that's your demographic. And you're writing these for 12-year-old girls. Come on. Like, what are you doing here? This is almost unreadable. And this cover is ridiculous. Superman's riding some kind of weird space horse. Now, the Dodson cover is better. But again, once you open it up, just, it's crap. It's total crap. And I hated it.
To piggyback off of that story, it really had a callback to Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, where Grant Morrison just did it. What's that word? Good?
Yeah, when he actually wrote an amazingly brilliant, everybody should read it Superman story.
Yes, and this is just the half-assed version of that, pretty much.
I couldn't stand it.
Yeah,
couldn't stand it.
I would say, to piggyback on the one you have here again, every DC book this week was in my list.
Yeah, there's some other ones that are disappointing.
Yes.
So what do you have there? You got Erratic?
Erratic. So Kyle first read this, and he almost threw it. I had to tell him to stop.
Kyle's your brother.
Yes. Kyle's my brother. Or as he's known in some circles as Kevin. I don't know why.
For some reason.
Yes. Kyle almost threw it. I said, hey, no, big fella. I need to read this. So I read it and I almost threw it.
Did you just call your brother fat?
No, I said big fella. I didn't say fat.
Okay. Got it. Just kidding.
He's agreeing with it. So he's agreeing with it. But after 3 or 4 pages, I literally said, "F this book." Done.
Oh wow, that bad.
There's some dialogue going on between a mother and a daughter, and it's a little bit of dialogue from the father. I'm just like, no, this.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Bad book. Bad.
Wow. Alrighty then. Okay, so next one. I'm glad I didn't read that. Oh, God, what a waste of my life.
Yes, it was.
I probably got to the 3rd page and I started skimming. It never re-engaged me.
No.
And at the end, I was like, I'm glad I skimmed this book. It's just a throwaway story. It's almost like hey, everybody, don't forget about Morbius.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there's a movie coming out from Sony one of these days, and it's going to be cool, so don't forget about this character. By the way, we're going to release a story, so you don't forget about him. So we're going to play off the excitement for the movie, maybe drum up a little bit more, and give you a story. And I thought it'd be better because Ralph Macchio, longtime editor and writer if Marvel wrote it, I just expected more. It was just like a brief retelling of, hey, don't forget about Morbius, guys. And if you've never read Morbius, here's a great story to read that'll tell you about Morbius. I just was like, this is crap. Nothing happens. It's boring. I almost feel bad. I mean, if it was Ralph's idea, bad Ralph. If it wasn't his idea and he was forced to write this, I'm sorry. But, like, give me something else. Like, can we do something to progress his character along a little bit? Nothing. It's a nothing. Anyway, go ahead.
No, and I was to piggyback off what you said, because it's mine too. This honestly, in hindsight, probably should be my number 1. It's the most disappointing, because I was looking forward to this the most, and I saved this for like last.
Oh, really?
And because like you said, Ralph Macchio, he's a veteran, and I read this and I'm like, God, this sucks. It's just
for new people, not Karate Kid Ralph Macchio.
Yes.
There's another Ralph Macchio.
Yep, longtime editor at Marvel, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, the Karate Kid does not write comics for Marvel or edit them.
As far as we know.
Yeah, just disappointing. I mean,
yeah. The art stunk, and this is a completely wrong art for this.
Yep, I concur. All right, next one. Oh, really? Is it disappointing?
Yes.
You are bat crap crazy. All right, I'm about to get mad at you for that. Okay, so I'll start before I get mad at Drew. Nothing happens. Wakanda's safe. Don't worry, guys. Okay, that's it. I just summarized the whole book for you. Wakanda's safe.
Yep.
There you go. Whole book in a nutshell. Okay, go ahead.
But we never know. We never see what happens to Storm. They never show what happens.
No.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, they tease it.
Yeah.
She's no longer relevant.
Yeah.
According to, Wakanda's safe. Okay.
So this may be in my stack later as well.
Okay.
But the first half of this story is terrific. The last half was a bore. It was just a snore. The art was good at points. I'm trying to figure out if the one character is a man or a girl at one point, at certain points.
The one that comes back, the not the pixie one. What is it?
Yeah, the pixie one. Yeah, it's like, It's like, is this,
they don't really say.
Is this a girl or a middle-aged man? I can't tell. It's not as hard. Has a hard time.
Well, in the first issue, they talk about that a little bit. They're like, you can come back however you want to when the machine regenerates the Eternals.
So maybe this character's in transition. Could be.
Literally in transition.
Yes. Could be.
Could be.
Okay.
So you didn't like it? No,
and I did not like the ending. And it's like, big shocker. We have someone who's betraying us in the midst. Someone's letting Thanos slip through. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Didn't pick it up.
All right. I'll talk about mine later.
Okay.
All right. Oh man, I have an extra one in here. Hold on.
Oh.
Which one's the worstest? This one's the worstest.
You can't really.
Okay. Oh man, I almost had that in there. There were so many skip its this week. That was a skip it.
Man.
So go ahead and talk about why that was a skip it for you.
I love Taskmaster. Taskmaster is one of my favorite villains of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He is the baddest of the baddest, as far as I'm concerned, in Marvel, as far as Avengers villains go.
Mm-hmm.
And he is treated like an absolute punchline in this whole comic.
Yeah.
It is angering, disappointing, and Jed McKay, go back to TV. That's all I'm saying. No, stop. No, it's not funny. It's not funny, and it's not fun.
Yeah, that was pretty much a skip it for me, too. I like the cover. I do.
I like the 1 in 25 variant by Shane Davis.
Yeah, that was good also.
Yeah.
I do like that cover. I feel the same way. It's definitely a skip it. It's kind of like he is a badass.
Yes.
He can mimic any move, fighting style, anything he's ever seen, and I don't know.
They actually call him out as a clown in the comic.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
No, not happening.
So this cover completely summarizes what happens between the new Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's summarized right there on the cover. That's what happens. That's almost literally what happens.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, hey, bye. And then the this whole story, I feel like if you read part 2 and part 4, you're not going to miss anything. Because they could have summarized almost everything that happens in this issue, in the main Batman story. They could have summarized it on 1 page.
Yeah.
It's just felt so drug out. And the Grifter story was it was okay. Not worth the...
That pissed me. I should have put that. Actually, that should be in my number 1 or 2.
Not worth the $6.99.
I gotta say a spoiler. I'm sorry, Lucius Fox is not getting a kick off on Grifter in a story. It's not happening. A middle-aged man is not getting a kick off on Grifter. No.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the skip-its. Yes. All right, you ready to do number 10? Now we're into the good stuff.
Yes.
Here we go. Number 10.
10.
Here we go. Oh, I'm cheating. So here's my cheat. I couldn't help it, guys. So Ryan Kincaid has 3.
Oh.
Yep, you might not even seen these.
Ooh.
Ryan Kincaid has 3 homage covers out where they're going to be on our website tomorrow. I love all 3 of them. He's doing a new, it's not new for him, but this is his chibi style. Ryan's had this kind of in his back pocket for a long time. It's super popular whenever he draws characters like this. And we're going to release some covers with his chibi style characters on it. So this is the first one. Obviously an ASM 1 homage. This one's limited to 500. This is limited to 250. And they'll be available tomorrow. And of course we have his Alex Ross homage, Vampire on the Dark Powers, which is super cool. Black Terror's on there on the cover. These will be part of a bundle. You can buy them individually. I couldn't pick which one's my favorite number 10. So these are all my favorite number 10. So I kind of cheated, but also cheap plug. Hey, you're watching my channel. I can talk about my variants. I love them. This is my number 10. Go ahead. What you got?
That's fair. I've got Fantastic Four, number 29, King of Black tie-in.
Ooh, that was close for me.
This is purely a cover buy.
Okay.
I read it.
You did read it?
Did not like it, but the cover is fantastic by Mark Brooks. Love this cover.
So the ending of that has me excited about the next the next issue.
Yes.
But
that first half is so boring.
Yeah.
I could not care less about Johnny.
I just skipped through the few pages and then get to the part where they're fighting the symbiote stuff. But I'm excited about the next issue. But you know it's going to be one of those, oh no, look what's happened to him. Oh, we have to save him. And they save him and it's all back to normal again.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right. Number 10.
Number 10.
Number 9. Number 9. All right. I need a disclaimer.
Wait. Isn't that the one that we both kind of universally panned?
Disclaimer. So this is probably interchangeable with this one. With my throwaway for this. I literally did change it at the last second. I switched them out. The only reason this is in here is because of the cover. That's the only reason. Nobody should ever read this book. Nobody should ever read it. Don't read the book.
One.
Don't read it. Don't even open it up. It's written. If you're a 12-year-old girl, you should read both of these issues. You'll probably really enjoy it. If you don't get bored halfway through. If you're a mom and you want your kid to go to bed and she's a girl, you should read these issues to her to get her to fall asleep. Nobody else should ever read these comics ever. That's it. Go ahead.
I think I'm picking up a trend with that one and Superman and Wonder Woman.
Oh, it's just, they're terrible. Like, I don't like them.
No.
But again, look who's giving this review. I'm a 47-year-old male.
I'm 36, not much younger.
Can't stand it. Okay, no. What do you got here?
Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, number 4, I believe. Ryan Parrott wrote it. The Inhale Glee cover is cool.
Yep.
Get the reveal of who the Green Ranger is.
Yeah, I don't give any craps about the Power Rangers, whether they're Mighty or Morphin or if they're regular Power Rangers. I just don't care about them. So I'm glad you read that so you can let everybody know how you feel about it.
It's a lot of fun. Essentially, the Rangers get their butts kicked in this issue. Okay. And the whole city is eventually domed off, cut off from the rest of the world. Lord Zedd's taking it over with pretty much his putties, and the Rangers have to regroup and figure out what they're going to do.
Lord Zedd and his putties, watch out.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Power Rangers.
I grew up, so I'm a little bit younger. I grew up with the Power Rangers. I grew up with these Rangers.
Yeah, I did not. I grew up making fun of the Rangers. Okay. Blasphemy. So this Wolverine, I love the Donny Cates story. The second story with Juggernaut in it. I do not despise everything about Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think he's a cool character. I enjoy him. I think he's pretty neat. The first story was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm glad it wasn't like an issue of Wolverine. The second story was really cool, and the third story was kind of strange. It's kind of just a reason to. I used to like the stories as a kid when they would just see how much damage can we do to Wolverine.
Yes.
Like what can we do to him and then have him still come back? What can we do? Can we rip his entire guts out? Can we rip his heart out? How much damage can we give him? Burn his
whole skin off. What's going to
happen? But Garth Ennis did the worst to Wolverine in the Punisher series, which was fantastic.
The Confederacy of Dunces, yes.
Yeah. But this, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and it made it into my top 10 at number 8. I think we're on. So I liked it. He didn't like it. I liked it. Yeah. Do what you're gonna do. Yeah. It's up to you. What do you have again?
I got the new Radiant Dark, Radiant Black. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It had one moment in it. I had to reread it again. There's a moment involving a cop and his friend, and I just like, man, come on, you did not need this in the book. But other than that, the dialogue was terrific. There's great banter going back and forth. You can really relate to the hero in this, what's going on with him. Yeah. Especially in this industry, Yeah. But it's a very fun read, and I can't wait for the next issue.
There's only one. Mine's in here too. I'll get to it. There's only one part in there. I was like, how did that happen? But we'll get to that. Okay. All right, next one. What are we on? You're the number guy. What number are we on?
7.
7. Oh, the booty cover.
Yes, the booty cover.
The booty cover. I couldn't decide. If I could have 7 number 10s, that would have made it. Space Bastards. Great continuation of the first story. Loved it. They tell you the origin of the International Post Office. There's a character in there that's just, you love to hate him. I think they wrote him beautifully. He was designed to be loved to hate, and you love to hate this guy. Like you're rooting for him, but you also realize he's a total moron and you want him to fail. So I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I loved his little leadership when you got to read it. I loved his little motivational talk.
Oh yes,
he has 2 total failures. It's so funny.
That may be later in my list.
Yeah, I just love this one. Yes.
And this is purely the booty cover.
Oh yeah,
the booty will unite us, especially a Purio booty.
Yeah, I just wish it was lighter, like Lucio. Come on, man. Lighten them up, brother. Come on, it's so dark. And they print dark. You know this, Lucio, by now. Come on, man. I love you. Just get those covers brighter. We want to see the booties.
Yes.
Okay, what do we got? I don't read G.I. Joe either, so I'm glad that you're going to talk about it. Second print. First print was amazing. Second print's fantastic. I'm collecting all the prints. It's a must-buy if you're a fan of it. Have some minor key value maybe down the road. I think this is a case where maybe the second print is probably just as much printed as the first print. So it's not going to be like, oh, it's a rare second print. It's not going to be a Venom repeat, Venom 3. But you got to get it, in my opinion. What you got, sir?
G.I. Joe, Larry Hama.
Oh, yeah, you love Larry Hama. He's great.
Yes, he's a legend. Great. And this issue is just a one-off issue of the Joe's rescue mission, saving a scientist from Cobra. And they're up in I think they're in Antarctica trying to escape Cobra. They're on the run, and it's awesome. Just a chase, just one long chase, pretty much.
All right.
And there's a great scene involving a sniper later on. It's awesome.
Oh, see, I didn't give a crap about G.I. Joe. My cartoons were He-Man and the Thundercats and Transformers. By the time G.I. Joe came on, I was tuned out. I didn't care, and then I wound up joining the Marine Corps later. Imagine that. Okay. What are we on?
6. Oh,
okay.
5.
5.
Yes, 5.
All right. Okay. You go ahead.
So I enjoyed this one more than the previous issue. And I did like the stuff with Typhoid Mary, as well as Elektra. I love seeing Elektra trying to be
like I really
Daredevil.
like that.
Yes.
Like, she cares. She gives a crap.
And yes, and,
Yeah.
and she essentially, spoiler, she fails at the end.
Yeah, she's failing a lot.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
But she's trying, though.
she's trying.
Yeah.
But she's failing. And we see Matt. I love seeing Matt trying to fight off. No, I love that inner turmoil he's having.
Yeah. I just wish I got more of it. I wish I got more of evil, nullified Matt. I wanted more. I just thought it was a disappointment. That's why it made it into my skip-its. But I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this iconic, arguably one of the best Star Wars movies ever, Empire Strikes Back.
One of the best movies ever.
Yeah, arguably one of the most iconic scenes from the movie. I usually don't fall for these. It's more of a gimmick cover, like the greatest moments. They're not really greatest moments. They're just moments from the movie. They should just call it moments from the movie. This is probably one of the greatest moments. It's the getting you first see Luke confront Vader. Like, I mean, come on. Luke goes to strike. Vader's just standing there like he's not a worry in the world. And the story, I'm loving the Darth Vader story. Yes. I really am. He has a moment in here where he sees his own death, but it's not what his real death is. He sees a different version of what his death could be, and he has all these flashbacks of his life scenes throughout all the movies. I love how they're bringing them all into this. They're actually making me, the writers of this, ever since the beginning, when Charles Soule started writing Darth Vader series, they're actually making the movies that for years we thought were complete garbage, the prequel trilogy. They're making them actually relevant. They're kind of making those moments that have significance in the lives of these characters. They bring them to the forefront and actually make us realize, like, hey, this was a life-changing moment in these characters, and they're bringing that into the comic. The writers are doing a great job of correcting a lot of the damage, in my opinion, that was done with some of these prequel trilogies. And they're making it have
weight
and flesh out the character of Vader even more. So anyway, I kind of rambled there a lot about it, but I really think that they're doing a fantastic job. Gregory Pack, World War Hulk writer, longtime Hulk writer, many other comics, most known for Hulk probably, but just doing a great job.
That may or may not be a little bit later in my list as well.
Yeah, interesting to hear that one.
Yes.
And you talked about Daredevil?
Yep.
Okay, you picked that cover?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that is those milestone covers are kind of cool, yeah.
Lupacino.
Okay, we are on number
4. Yep.
That was in your skip it too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Look at you throwing a curveball at me. I was about to yell at you. So, it's the third print. You got to buy it. That's it. Go for it.
The cover is Assad Ribic.
Okay.
That is the best compliment I can give this. The interior art, outside of the one Eternal character I'm trying to figure out in transition.
But Assad did the interior, though.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yep.
You didn't like this one, though?
Just that one character. When it comes to that one character.
Oh.
Outside of everyone else, everything else.
So that one character ruined the whole story for you.
Well, no, she didn't ruin the story. It's everything going on after that fight with Thanos.
Oh,
it's like,
gotcha.
This is very boring, and I could not care less. It was very exciting, then it just hit the brakes, and I'm like, okay, I've quickly lost interest.
Okay, I will save my thoughts for a little bit later.
Assad Ribic, give for the cover.
That is a great cover.
Yes.
All right, number 3.
Boom.
Okay, cool. You picked that cover. Strictly cover by. The story is kind of the story's okay. It's okay. It's not fantastic. Issue 1 was so good. There is a great. One of the best parts in this entire book is in the very beginning, when he says his name. What was it? Death. He could. So it's Nightwing and Deathstroke.
Yeah. Deathwing?
And he says, he's like, they call him Deathwing, and the other one's like, I personally would have picked Dick. And then, I was like, that is great. I literally laughed out loud. That was fantastic. But great cover, fantastic cover.
If you're expecting to find out who it is, you're not gonna get. You're not gonna get it.
Yeah, they don't. You even see him with his mask off, and you're still like,
what? Who is this?
And then it's kind of like to be continued in the next exciting series of coming in. It's like, really? Come on, man. But they do create, this story does, the 2 issues of this do create a very bleak picture of a major event that happened that changed all of their lives. And supposedly we have to read this other series coming up to find out what that event was that changed all of their lives, because it's really kind of confusing. They don't really give you any satisfaction with that.
And this ties in with Shazam, because what happens in this leads into that Shazam issue 1, which brings in an issue I talked about on that Thinking Critical live chat, is that they're going with this Pulp Fiction, Tom King story-esque type of storytelling where it's all told out of sequence. When this should really be told in sequence. Yeah, how everything is. And
that's a good point. They try to Tom King it, and Tom King does Tom King. Yeah, it was really kind of confusing, but it just felt like a really long trailer for 2 other comics coming
One long
out.
tease. It's just one long tease.
Yeah. Darth Vader.
Yes, I love this issue.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Like you said, so many great moments in this, and like how they tied in like more or less the deaths of like how he's died multiple times, but at the very end, oh my god, the big payoff.
Yeah, that's
love
really
it.
cool.
And
he's standing on top of that.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's got me so excited for the next issue. I cannot wait. There's some great action scenes in this involving him in a fight, one of the fighters. Oh, it does not disappoint.
Gregory Pak also draws a great parallel in these flashback scenes between what Vader went through and then what Luke goes through with him, and the similarities. Honestly, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I've never really thought of it that deep before. So, man, great writing on Gregory Pak's part.
Yes,
fantastic. All right, number two, Radiant Black. Oh, the Thunderbolts.
Yes.
There is a really cool part in there I'll talk about.
Yes.
So, Radiant Black, it was super good. I loved it. I don't know how his friend sobers up so quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, he was just, I mean, an event happens that would sober anybody up pretty quick. But I thought the costume was pretty funny. Yeah. It adds the lightheartedness of the book. But, I mean, kudos to the writer. I just forget who it was.
Kyle Higgins.
So, the Radiant Black guy is a failed writer. And in the very beginning, he kind of bears his soul to the world, and you can't help but wonder how much of that comes from his own internal struggles that he's writing from himself and his own, wrestling with failure when you're first getting started in an industry like this, and how much of that of him is his soul just being poured onto the page.
Because I've seen Kyle at shows, like at C2E2, he walks around with his parents. He'll walk around the show with his parents, and it's like, so maybe there's a degree of truth to this.
Yeah, maybe something like this happened in his life. I don't know, but I really loved it. The writing was fantastic. It's fun. I can't wait for the next one. There's a really cool ending where you're like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, really excited for the next one. Thunderbolts.
So for me, after reading all of the, I'm going to say mediocre DC books, I had to jump in. I was like, please give me something good. I read this, and if you've seen the movie Tropic Thunder, there's a great scene in that it's lifted from and put in this. I laughed out loud. I'm like, I needed that after reading DC Comics.
Yeah, tell me what scene that was. I can't remember. I do like. There's a nod in here when you read comics. So. Who's the death character again? I don't know Thunderbolts very well again.
Oh, they changed him. It's a new team this time. So yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Taskmaster, Dr.
Fear, Mr. Fear. I love. He sees somebody and he's like, "Who decided? Why do you have your mask off?" And he's like, "Oh, some idiot higher up decided I look better with it off." Yeah. That's the writer saying he was told to take his mask off, and he hated that idea, and he was basically ordered by some editor somewhere, "You got to keep his mask off." That's totally him saying some idiot above my prig thought it looked better. It clearly doesn't. Yeah. Man, great writing.
Yes, great. Matt Rosenberg did a great job with this. It's very funny. The action scenes in this are awesome. The art by Juan Ferreira is terrific in this. And like I said, if you love Tropic Thunder, you're gonna know the scene I'm talking about.
That one, I was also kind of, at the same time, I was also a little bit disappointed with, they're looking for the body of the century, right?
Yes.
It doesn't.
And they find.
But I just felt like, again, is Taskmaster in here with these guys, or is he on his own adventure in Black Widow, I hate when there's there's concurrent stories running.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't get any. I'm reading 2 different stories about Taskmaster, and they're doing 2 different things.
Yeah.
Okay, timeline continuity is an important yes. Oh, this happens after Null invades. Happens before Null invades. It happens before Null invades. I'm not vested because I know nothing bad happens because he's alive in this. If it happens after, I'm not invested in this story because I know everything's okay.
They could have had, like, in the Taskmaster book, they could have at least had a line of dialogue that just said,
yeah, this takes place
before the events of King of Black. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss those little notes from editors that tell me what's actually happening and when the continuity takes place. But that's kind of what I thought, and I also felt like Taskmaster's kind of, you know, he's trying to make it lighthearted moments between like Star and. You know, Star is actually, if you read Captain Marvel, when Star comes into being, when her character starts, she's insane and she's crazy powerful. And here she's written as it's almost the opposite of like SJW writing, where she's this super timid, lost, and confused person. She's not like that. She's nuts and she's a badass, and she's not written that way. I just kind of feel like there's a disconnect from how some of these characters are. In my opinion. Anyway,
maybe that's she's heavily sedated.
Maybe. That's why I didn't make my top 10. But there are some really cool moments in it. Yeah. All right. So number one. Cool.
Yes.
All right. I've been waiting. How can you not love this? This is so good. The machine sub narration you have from the machine being broke the whole time. You just realize that. So the machine is the world they live on that regenerates the Eternals. You realize there's been major damage to this machine. The machine tells you in the very first episode, I'm broke, something's not right. And then by the end, you realize this machine's pretty much going insane. Something's totally not right with it. There is some bigger conspiracy going on, but it makes me, the same reason you didn't like it is the reason I liked it. It makes me give a crap about what's happening. I want to know what's compromised the system that's allowing Thanos to travel through this travel mechanism they have. And I love that there's a little brief history storyline in here. It's really just words, kind of this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, that talks about what the Eternals were, what happened, how Thanos came to be, what happened, and where they're at right now. I really enjoyed that. I just love the whole issue. It was the first thing I read, and it was on my number 1 and never got bumped off. I love this series. I love the writing. I love the art. I'm in love with it. In love with it. So, what do you got?
Space Bastards.
Yes, it's so good.
You know, in an age where PC culture is pretty much the king, it's fun to read something that's tasteless, disgusting, and offensive, and being hysterical at it.
Yeah, he basically offended an entire race of people in this issue.
Every single page, I am laughing my butt off. I'm laughing out loud, and like you said earlier, it talks about the setup, how they came to be. Yeah, and there's a great twist at the end. It's like, I wonder how he's gonna get through this one.
This guy's such a loser.
Yes,
such an idiot, but he wins. I love it. I love it to death.
Like I said, if you love tasteless, disgusting, and offensive humor, you're gonna love this like as much as I do. Kyle, my brother Kevin, loved it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So
I can't recommend it enough.
Drew clearly doesn't know what he's talking about because this issue was fantastic, but he redeemed himself a little bit with the Space Bastards as the top pick. So I think we're done, man. We're done with this one. So I owe you guys a ton of giveaways. Don't worry. Like I said, I haven't forgot about you. There's a huge box sitting right over there that's going to be part of this epic giveaway we have. So as always, for this video, if you want to win my top picks, comment what you're most looking forward to. Comment your like number after you've liked it, the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, please. Make sure you subscribe. And don't forget, as always, click the notification bell. And you can win all of my picks because I have the best picks. Because Drew didn't have... Well, he did have it in there.
I did have it in there.
Pick. You did.
Yes, I did. And interior art for the most part.
Yeah. So, like if you want to win everything. And do all the other stuff you're supposed to do. And we will see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Buy what you like, collect what you want, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.